Alright folks, I can't hold it anymore. I have to make a video of it, although I don't want to. This time, a poor Arsenal fan who called in to talk sport and then being roasted by Jamie O'Hara, who's a big Spurs fan, and Jason Candy talking about who had a better season, Spurs or Arsenal. This nonsense had to stop now. This debate has happened so many times. When Man United beat Man City and then win the FA Cup, they argue about who had a better season, Man United or Arsenal. So by the time Man United got the trophy and then Arsenal got nothing for that season, and then this time Spurs got Europa League and Arsenal don't have any trophies. This time the Arsenal fan talk about why Arsenal didn't have any trophies. He talked about the reasons like injuries and stuff, but it's not about that. It's not about why Arsenal hasn't got any trophies. It's about what is important for a football club or for different football clubs. So for me, the Europa League, for example, is even worse than League Cup and FA Cup in England. Let's be honest, for a big club, any big clubs, Europa League, League Cup and FA Cup is not the biggest trophies they're gonna chase, they're gonna aim for at the beginning of the season. For a top elite club, there's always the league title and also the Champions League title is the ultimate trophies they're gonna aim for. And then the reason I said about, well, no disrespect to League Cup and FA Cup. Obviously, for example, FA Cup have a long history and then got a really great tradition on it, and then it's very important for the English people, obviously. But the reality is, to win these kind of trophies is easier than winning the league title or the Champions League title. And for the Europa League, it's even worse, because for the League Cup and FA Cup, there is a chance that you will have to at least beat one or two top opponents to win the trophy. But for Europa League, this league is designed as like the second tier of the is the competitions in Europe. So, for example, a lot of top teams, they are too good to be playing in this competition. For example, Man City, Liverpool, and Newcastle even in England, they are too good to play in the Europa League. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and Bayer Leverkusen. These teams are too good to play in the Europa League. So to win the Europa League, there's a chance that you don't have to beat any top teams. And then take Tottenham, for example, this season. What teams they have beaten? In the league phase, they face Roma, which is a sort of good team, yeah. They drew them, and then they lost to kind of Galatasaray. These are the two teams, kind of the strongest in the league phase for Tottenham. And then in the knockout stage, let's see who they beat. So in the knockout stage, they beat AZ Alkmaar, and then they beat Frankfurt, and then in the semi-final, they beat Bodo Glimt, and then obviously in the final they beat Man United. So that's it. Man United last season is obviously not a top team, so in the final it's the league 15th against 16th. And obviously, yes, winning the trophy is a kind of very important point to define whether your season is successful or not, but it really depends on the teams. I believe for the top teams, not winning the League Cup, not winning FA Cup, not winning the Europa League or European Conference League, it doesn't matter. What really matters is how you perform in the league and how you perform in the Champions League. And the next few years, Arsenal would have a much better chance to challenge the Premier League title and also the Champions League title. What about Man United and Spurs? These are also the big six teams. Their chances to challenge the Premier League title, and well, the Man United is not even in the Champions League, but their chances are zero, I would say. There's no chance for them to win the league or win the Champions League. That's the reality, and I believe that's really matters for these big teams, not like winning the League Cup, the FA Cup, or the Europa League. The Europa League has been important is only because the UEFA put it as a route to qualify for the Champions League. Other than that, if let's say they script this rule, then nobody, for the big teams, they don't care about the Europa League anymore. And everybody laughed at Man United when the board has said that if Man United win the Europa League, then they will have a barbecue, and then it becomes a big joke afterwards. I believe that's, well, for me, that's a sensible thing to do, actually. We are not going to be on a parade if we win the Europa League. That would be embarrassing. The players, Man United players in the open top bus and then holding a Europa League trophy, that would be really embarrassing. And that just says how bad we are, even like celebrating the Europa League. So who had a better season? I believe it's non-comparable. For me, for example, I would like to trade the League Cup we won and FA Cup we won, both trophies, for exchange of where Arsenal is now. I would like to exchange that. If we put Man United as the second in the league, then I would like to do that. Simply as that. So we have a much better chance. We have hope to fight for the Premier League title, or, well, Champions League title is far away, but at least it's much better chance than where we're now. For now, it's like I can only see like after 3 years or 5 years, even we are not going to challenge for the Premier League title, unfortunately. So that's a real depressing thing than winning the League Cup occasionally. Or even the Europa League occasionally. That's not what the clubs like Man United should do, I believe. And obviously, the media like to bring up this topic for the fans to have a debate. Now is the season break time. We don't have much football going on, so yeah, they like to throw these questions to the fans to have a fight, have a debate between the fans. So well, I believe this is nonsense, but I also believe that the media is not going to stop it. In future, there will be more of these comparisons going on, but I think if you're a big team and if you don't win anything, but in the league you are in a much better position, closer to the title, I believe there's nothing to be disappointed about. Yeah, I'm glad I'm finally made a video of it. I feel much better now. What is your thought? And then leave your comments below. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.